Welcome to the first iteration of Masters on Masters.
Well, we're masters on masters.
No, I talk and then you. Welcome. Today we're here to talk about our exodus and entrance into Dungeons and Dragons. Currently we have two shows going on, Dirtbags and Dragons, the original campaign, Tercinus, that I DM, and we have our campaign in Orveth that Adam DMs. So we're two DMs talking to each other. It's my first campaign that I've ever DM'd, and I'm loving it. Lots of fun. I'm here with my best friend of... shut the up back there.
He's my best friend.
I'm here with my...
That's my wife.
Alright, we'll cut that. I'm here with my best friend of over 20 years, Adam Manfredi. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
And thank you for hosting us. We're in his beautiful home on his new felt couch.
They're couch covers.
It feels amazing. It's so comfy. Alright, so my very first question, of course, is how did you get into Dungeons and Dragons? What was your first exposure to it?
Actually, I think you were there for that too. So, do you remember my neighbors, Ted and Annette, the older couple?
Mm-hmm.
So, this guy, Ted, who became friends with my parents, he went ahead and gave me an old storage box full of different books and modules and player accessories from, like, the original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
First edition?
First edition, yeah, Advanced D&D, like the original. And I think didn't really get too far with that because never could sit down enough to be like, okay, we're gonna learn all these rules and figure out how to play this. But it was just cool to go ahead and go through like all the books and see like what it entailed and kind of spark the interest.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. When did you actually like play your first session?
That would be, it was probably early 20s, and a girl from high school and her boyfriend, we were playing 3.5 edition, and my first character was a swashbuckling satyr.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very fitting.
He'd go ahead and he'd do like his goat bleat before he went ahead and headbutted people. So it would, and he just uses unarmed attack all the time. He'd be like, 1d8, man. 1d8.
That's awesome. In high school? Oh yeah.
No. A little bit out of high school, but she was from high school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. And so then at what point were you like, I should try to DM, like I should try to run a game?
That was probably like mid to late 20s. I think my first game I ever ran was for my wife. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I remember an earlier one.
No, it was for when we were doing a bunch of acid.
Yeah, I might sleep that.
That was
nuts.
Can you talk more about that, please?
Oh man, like that actually became more of like a, I don't know if you're familiar with like Pathfinder, but Pathfinder has a setting called Kingmaker, where it's a little bit less about the adventuring and everything, and it's more about like kingdom building decisions. And somehow we went ahead and got onto a very like Kingmaker-esque trail where it was this king of a dwarven kingdom that was on an island, and was this little like kobold lizard person who was his advisor, but they were constantly at odds. So like we would be passing like pieces of paper back and forth, and they'd be like, hey, can I go ahead and try to sell off all his family treasure? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, do a roll for it. It was very like cringe and
yeah, they always are.
Fun times though.
That's dope. That's awesome. That's cool. First time DMing. So I guess my next question would be, like, what would be your worst memory of a campaign? Like a campaign going the worst or being the worst, like a worst session.
So
you got some horror stories.
The absolute worst one was we were playing with a small group of people, and the DM was constantly railroading us. And do you ever get that feeling when you're playing that, like, yeah, this is very similar to a piece of media or art, and they've definitely ripped this from something, but I can't tell what it is. Now, this game was like in my mid-20s, and I'm like, why does this seem so familiar? What is going on? And then all of a sudden it clicked, and I was like, oh, okay, this 30-something-year-old man is running us through a D&D setting that is based off of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And I was like,
I remember this.
fuck, I need to get out of here.
I was in this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Our friend. I'll bleep his name. I don't care.
All right.
Yeah, that'll tell you. That'll tell you who's it. That tells you who it is. Yeah, he was very cringe. He was a nightmare.
So with it being your first campaign and everything, how are you finding, like, the creative process of having to kind of balance out, like, the story you're trying to tell and the player choices?
Ooh. Oh man, that's interesting. I mean, it's tough. What I had initially conceived this campaign to be versus what it is now is very, very different. So, like, the first campaign was originally a campaign that Adam was DMing in this world, Tercinus, that featured me, my sister Alana, and his wife Jenna. It ran for maybe like less than 10 sessions or something like that. And then when we went to do this show, I was like, oh, we'll just take that world and I'll sort of subsume it. And I basically threw out all of the laws and rules of that world originally. Like, there was this thing called the Shards of Divinity that were prominent in that first campaign that I was going to bring back up in this, but then when you had gotten your campaign up and running, I decided, like, no, lay off of the stuff that we were going to do cumulatively and let Adam develop whatever that was going to be and subsume that into his own campaign. So with that said, the campaign's original conceit was like a sort of like Kingdom Hearts-esque, like, hodgepodge of a bunch of different other pieces of, like, fiction and lore, like some Lord of the Rings, some fucking Digimon, some Dragon Age, some Dragon Quest, some Final Fantasy, all that shit kind of shoved into one. And initially it was much more literal. Like, it was going to be a literal, like, a bunch of worlds have smashed into one world. I can talk about this shit now because we're not going to do it. It's going to be something else. But all that said, like, player choices, I mean, it doesn't change too much of the, like, overarching plot of where it's going, because it kind of still funnels into my story. But, I mean, I always make stuff to happen where, like, players can die if they make crazy choices, or we just had a session where, a guest of yours almost died twice, you stopped it. That was almost consequential. Who knows what would have happened if she had killed you, or if you're watching this, we just filmed the, Yeah, I mean, I love player choices, like Trip choosing to jump off the fucking airship to go, I'm rambling at this point, but Trip choosing to jump off the airship to go grab that fucking tail, that was awesome, so.
What is it, what? What'd you say, what kind of check?
Alright, give me a dex check.
Dexterity, that's 8.
You mean 8?
Yeah.
What do you think happens? You go for it with both arms, Radagast goes for it with both arms and tentacles, you both completely whiff it and smack your back on the back of the dragon, you both fall.
Do you need some kind of roll for me to get up and try to
jump for that tail again?
Spot the tail with Radagast on my back?
This is your option. This is your only option, is to roll
Cody,
to have
you're just gonna
Radagast.
focus on yourself flying, and they're gonna grab onto you.
Okay, well,
If you
You
fail
just have to
this,
focus on flying.
I don't know
this
if I
down.
can hold them
Oh
up.
no.
Focus. You got this. It's mental power.
Alright. He teleports you into the
Airship?
bathroom of the airship.
Nice. Good thing you brought me here because I just shit myself.
I love player choices. Like, take the story wherever you want to go. Except when we start doing, like, real estate shit, and it's like, alright, we can't.
Yeah. When it comes down to, like, the banking MMO that can happen, because that happened too in that one game I DM'd. I was telling you about the kind of Kingmaker stuff. I mean, literally probably 3 hours of, like, okay, well, if you guys buy this cart and you load it up with 12 sacks of flour, which, I mean, D&D lets you do all of this stuff. But why? Like,
Yeah, and you as a DM have to decide when you're gonna like.
yeah, and I guess it depends on what kind of group you're with. Like, there's some groups that I'm sure there's someone out there right now that is running a very successful campaign where it's like, yes, so the trading company is operating at 12% profit for the last 6 months, and that means that I get to hire, it's great. Awesome, but sometimes you just want to hit shit in the face.
Right, yeah, you gotta find a balance, for sure. But at the same time, if a table wants to do that, if a game and players want to do a bunch of fucking real estate nonsense or whatever, and that's their shit, they want to play Civ on a tabletop, go for it, whatever. We want to play more of a standard, at least in my campaign, I feel like I'm playing it very, that's my first campaign I've ever DM'd, very standard.
Yeah.
Go here, do thing, go here, do thing.
Yeah, it's a very like might and magic, like, okay, we beat up this guy, and then we talk a little bit, and then we go beat up the next guy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you want to play to what your players want to do, and we have a lot of first-time players for our campaigns as well. So yeah, it's been lots of fun though. So I guess we'll end it there, just to keep this one short. We'll keep these up, doing them again. This has been Masters on Masters.
Yeah, now it's gonna be Masters on Masters.